So this deck won't be bad when I refine it out a little bit. Like, it'll be a decent deck. The thing is, it's running good cards. It's running like Draven, Swain. It'll never have that low of a win rate, but the failure condition of this deck is if it turns out it's just a worse version of, you know, Swain PNZ or even Swain Bilgewater, right? That's the potential issue here. Also, I'm actually not great at Swain decks. This is an archetype that I basically don't play, so prepare for a few misplays, and I'm accepting backseating. Backseating doors are open. I actually don't like keeping Biggest Fan. Against like newer versions of the deck, it's not great. Keep Flock. Yeah, I mean, I would keep Flock if I had House Spider. I'm fine like naked keeping Flock in that hands too. You do really want like one Flock in this matchup. This is a nice curve though, like Spider into Draven with Flock. The one issue with Biggest Fan in this deck is like, in a Flock deck, you do want to tend to bank that mana, so like, don't get me wrong, Biggest Fan I think is kind of necessary because we do need to be drawing Draven, but yes, it does have that downside here. Fan is weak as a card? I wouldn't say that. It's actually pretty great in a lot of decks, but in a deck that needs to be like banking precise amounts of mana for combat tricks, it does get worse. Fan's super solid.
Looking for trouble. It found you.
Yep, so I mean he can't really take an attack into this, which feels nice. Mulligan's Fan instead of Draven. Fan is a free Draven draw, you should mulligan Draven there. But Fan doesn't draw Draven. It just moves it around in your deck. And in this matchup, I'm deciding that I don't want a 1 health unit if I don't have to, because it's kind of a liability against the Misfortune Valor, right? There's a consideration to keep a 1 mana 2/1, but that's the only question, is if we want to keep a 1 mana 2/1 there, right? Because in this matchup, I'm basically making the call that I don't really want to keep a 1 mana 2/1, which is kind of debatable. So, I mean, he's just going to drag the House Spider probably. We're not really going to get a good Whirling Death out of this, which is kind of sad. There's a call that I should just Sarp and Resolve to deny the MF trigger, and I think that's honestly more important, actually. Like, this is fine. Because if he like wants to trigger the MF, attacking it right now is a little bit awkward because I can kill the MF. No fucking way. Good shit, dude. But yeah, there's no reason to mulligan Draven unless we just want a 1 mana 2/1. They do the same thing, guys. It's a 1 mana 2/1. So it's just a question of like, do I want a 1 mana 2/1 there? So I mean, he's giving me the ability to kill the MF here, which I think I'll always take. Like that deck, if I just like kill the MF right now, I should just be able to beat it. The only question is, would I rather just like Flock or discard 2? I guess I'll just Flock after this combat. It looks good to me.
Love ya.
Okay. I think flocking is always a better response than double axe here. I would have to like discard some cards that I'd rather not. I feel like the less disruptive a deck is able to be, the worse it is in this meta right now. That is true as a rule of thumb. That's a good generalization. This is where like Dragon's Rage starts getting kind of interesting. It's a little early for it, but this Swain will level, and when I click this Dragon's Rage button, it is going to do some pretty funny things on this Swain level. I think I can actually just Biggest Fan here. Looks totally fine. Like, this is a good game for this deck right now. So we do want to basically kill the Quinn. I'm actually pretty happy just like threatening it with Whirling Death here. Obviously Whirling Death counts as non-combat damage for Swain, so it will give Swain like more progress towards his level up, which is a large part of the synergy here. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. If he wants to attach like a sharp side to that, it's not really going to do too much of anything. Why not Flock instead? Because I have more Whirling Deaths, I think Flock is going to be something that I can just have more flexibility with later. Like, also, the other Flock is a second Swain, which might actually be valuable if we want to just go for a grind condition. These Whirling Deaths are just less flexible here. And like, I mean, he kind of has nothing here. Like, this is kind of perfect for me. Like, his attack now doesn't do anything. We're just chilling, top decking Draven. So the one thing with this deck is, without some of the other tools, Swain's gonna be a little tricky to level up. So here's something interesting. If I like give my Swain 5 attack now with these axes, and then Dragon's Rage right now, would he level up from, it strikes the unit and then the Nexus, right? So I believe that it would nuke the entire board as well. It should. Put it on the eye. Yeah, I can put it on the eye, but only after I commit the spinning axes. But yeah, it should level, because that's how like Swole Squirrel works. So, I mean, I could do it right now. I could also like see if he develops something else. It goes to 5. We can kill like... So yeah, I'm just going to do that right now. I'm pretty sure it should work like that, if it's consistent with how Swole Squirrel works. I mean, I guess I'll let him make a play. It's not like I mean, he has to know he's passing here. But now when I do this, yeah, it nukes his entire board, and it also stuns the thing. He's getting the Badger Bear either way, though. Yeah, I guess I'll just do this. That's kind of fun. I've already committed the axes, so I'm just going to press it, because that's like, I mean, it might be sort of forced at this point. But even in this case, like, it might have been obviously better to like wait for some other kind of commitment. In this case, it's not really accomplishing a ton here. It's doing a lot of damage, but obviously we're out of mana, so we kind of lose the ability to do much off of that. Like, we probably can't even attack here.
No prey.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny to test out there, but obviously it doesn't really accomplish anything. 7 mana? Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool concept. I'm really worried about Swain's level up. Like, this is the deck that out of all the other Swain versions, this is the one that is probably most dependent on trying to level Swain. And it's also the one that has the hardest time of actually doing it, which is a real issue. I can play Leviathan now. Like, he's not leveling MF. Our Swain should die, but we'll play another one next turn. Might have a bit of an issue against Pursuit, but he's not leveling anything, and I have, like, chonky blockers. Yeah, I think this is actually fine. He can kill Leviathan. I could play it after his first attack. I'm just, like, a little worried about my health. Depending on his hands, like, if he has a Relentless Pursuit, he can kill me this turn if I save mana for Leviathan. Like, if he has a Pursuit, he kills me literally right now if I don't press Whirling Death, I think. Like, also the Flock. Flock turns into another Swain afterwards. Yeah, I think the Leviathan doesn't do much. I think I just Whirling Death the Valor here to save the Swain. And then when he kills the Swain again, then I just play the second Swain with my mana and, like, Leviathan next turn. That just looks a lot better. Whirling the Bird and Flock the Quinn. Yeah, exactly. But, well, you say Flock. I could Flock it. It depends a little bit on what he does. But I'm also just happy to play my second Swain. Okay. But I think playing Leviathan this turn doesn't really do enough of anything. My lose condition is him just, like, killing me this turn, basically. The only problem is he has exact lethal if I don't play the Swain now. So I guess I just play the Swain now and tank up for one turn. That looks fine. If he has Pursuit and he plays it on turn 9, then we lose. But if he doesn't have Pursuit, we should win. Man, I want to like it. Like, so it's almost the perfect deck because I think that there's room right now for a really, really sweet Draven survival skills deck. And it does make sense. It does make sense for it to be this one. But Swain is, I don't know, Swain is a really weird archetype. See, I mean, it kind of is just Pursuit or Bust, right? Do I do anything here? If I attack with Leviathan and he has, like, the weirdest hand ever, he can kill it. If I pass, I should just win. Attack into Flock. Wait, attack into Flock does nothing. Isn't passing just better here? I don't really play Swain deck, so I I'm kind of like, I'm wondering. But I think passing is just safer here. I don't know, his MF can like level up though. And we're not dealing Nexus damage. Usually just keep Leviathan on bench. Well, yeah, of course, that's a rule of thumb. Like, I know that you usually do that. Attack to kill with Overwhelm. So the problem with that is that the hand state of Riposte Sharpsight kills our Leviathan, and we lose the game to that, like, on the spot. And there might be some hands that we lose to by passing. Like, the thing is, none of the logic matters except for hands we beat versus hands we lose to. That's the only thing that determines whether we attack or not. Can't think of one, but there might be. We just lose to one hand. Yes, but that's how you make good plays, by like thinking, oh, does he have that one hand? What do I lose to? What do I beat? And then if you're losing to one hand by making a play, then if it's not a necessary play, you shouldn't make that play. It's actually a cool Swain concept. We really need more spell damage. Like, leveling the Swain is going to be hard.